Okay, so imagine finding out that the biggest group in the world wasn't actually singing their own songs. Not like a rumor, like for real. That actually happened. And the crazy part is that it didn't come out right away. There were signs before everything completely blew up. Let's get into it. They won a Grammy, and then they had it taken away.
Girl, you know it's true.
Because the world found out they weren't the real voices behind the music. But here's the thing, before all of that, they were everywhere. I remember hearing them constantly on the radio, on MTV. You couldn't avoid them. They had hits for everybody, and for a moment, they felt unstoppable. By 1988, Milli Vanilli had exploded onto the scene. The songs were everywhere, the image was bigger than life, and almost as quickly as they rose, there were rumors in the industry, whispers that something didn't add up, that the voices on the records didn't match the people on the stage. At first, nobody really cared. Their hits were too big, the momentum was too strong, and it wasn't just one song either. Around that time, you had Blame It on the Rain blowing up too. Another one that was all over the radio. But then something happened live that made it impossible to ignore. Something was wrong. During a performance in 1989, the track for Girl You Know It's True started skipping over and over. Girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. And they just stood there. No backup plan, no way to fix it, because those weren't their vocals. And in that moment, everything started to crack. But here's what's crazy. Even after that happened, their success didn't slow down. It got bigger. More hits, more TV appearances, more exposure. I even remember seeing them get parodied on TV. And honestly, that's when you know you've made it. When people start making fun of you, you're officially huge. And in 1990, they won a Grammy for Best New Artist, right at the peak, when the truth was already starting to leak out. So how does something like this even happen? How did two people become global superstars without being the actual voices on the records? The answer goes back to one man behind the scenes, and a plan that was never supposed to be exposed. That man was Frank Farian. He had done something like this before, using different vocalists behind the scenes, but with Milli Vanilli, he pushed it further. The real singers recorded the tracks. Rob and Fab were chosen for their look, their energy, their image. They became the face of the music, but not the recorded voice. And at first, it worked perfectly. But success made everything louder. The bigger they got, the harder it was to hide.
I'm in love, girl. I'm so in love, girl.
Live performances got riskier, interviews got more uncomfortable, and behind the scenes, the pressure started building, because something like this doesn't stay hidden forever. In 1990, the truth finally came out. And when it did, it exploded. Fans didn't just feel disappointed, they felt tricked. Like the whole thing had just been a lie from the beginning. The industry turned on them. And that Grammy that they had just won was gone. Taken back just like that. One of the biggest highs in music turned into one of the most public downfalls. But here's where it gets more complicated, because Rob and Fab weren't the masterminds. They didn't create the system, they stepped into it. And once you're inside something like that, with fame, money, pressure, it's not easy to just walk away. And I've always thought about this as part of the story. Because yeah, they took a lot of heat. Because in the end, the story of Milli Vanilli isn't just about deception. It's also about the music itself. Because behind the image, there were the real voices, real performers, people like Charles Shaw and others who actually sang the songs that the world fell in love with, and they never got the spotlight they deserved. And at the end of it all was Frank Farian, the architect behind the entire thing, the one who built the image, made the decisions, and set everything in motion. But when it all collapsed, he wasn't the face people blamed. They were. And what happened after wasn't a comeback story. It was complicated. Rob struggled in the years that followed, with the fallout, the pressure, and life after the spotlight. In 1998, he passed away at just 32 years old. A tragic ending to a story that had already taken so much. Fab, he took a different path. He stayed in music, tried to rebuild, and over time, he's spoken openly about what happened and his role in it, owning it, learning from it, and still performing today. Even now, Girl You Know It's True is still recognizable. The music didn't disappear. The moment didn't fade. If anything, it became bigger over time, a symbol of an era, and a warning about fame, about image, and about how far perception can carry someone before reality catches up. This wasn't just a story about fake vocals. It was about real consequences, real people, and a moment in music history that still makes people ask how much of what we hear is actually real.